Namaste.
Namaste.
So we will start our class now.
Okay.
Om Vakratundhamakakaya Suryakoti Samaptabha Nirvighnam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Tade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatame Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishate Bhavaram Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Kurtibheda Vibhagine Yomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinapadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Harihi Om. In the last class, we have seen Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purusharthaha. Trividha Purusharthaha. These three Purusharthas we saw. Dharma, Artha, and Kama. What is Artha? What is Artha Purushartha? Dharma, Artha, Kama. This, for my convenience, I have changed the order. It is Artha, Kama, Dharma. In that order, I explained this Purushartha in the last class. Now, what is this Artha Purushartha, Artha pursuit? The pursuit which removes the sense of insecurity. It is called Artha Purushartha. Therefore, Artha Purushartha is seeking security. Seeking security is Artha Purushartha. I gave different meanings for the word Artha, and finally I said that Artha means, in this context, in Purushartha context, we can take the meaning as security. Generally, Artha is translated as wealth, money. Is money the real security? We must understand that money is only the means by which we can buy securities. Money is only the means, but it is not the end. Money is a means to buy all our fundamental needs. Therefore, giving greater value to money than what it deserves is a superimposition. In Sanskrit, we say it is Agyasa. It is Agyasa. Superimposing the value of means on the end. The Purushartha is that which as though it removes the sense of insecurity. It is as though. Really speaking, Artha also really doesn't remove the security. It as though removes the sense of insecurity. Therefore, Artha Purushartha, we can translate as seeking security. For time being, we will translate as seeking security. Seeking security is the meaning of Artha Purushartha. Because when we get into the last Purushartha, you know why it is. So this Artha is generally, I told it translated as wealth, money. So I was talking about money. Money is only the means, it is only the sadhanam, not the sadhyam. It is only the means, it is not the end. But what do we do generally is we give more importance to money than it deserves. That is called Agyasa. In Sanskrit we say Agyasa, superimposition. That is giving more value to that than what it deserves. That is called Agyasa. Like, superimposing a snake on the rope. That is Agyasa. So we give more importance to money. So that is called Shobhana Agyasa. There are different types of Agyasa, superimpositions are there. Even in Brahma Sutra, Shankara Bhagavad Gita starts with the Agyasa Bhashya. So Agyasa is important in Vedanta, that we will see what it is when we get into the Prakarana Grantha, we will see. So this money, it can give a sense of security. It is not a real security. Superimposing the value of security on that which is not there, which doesn't have the real security, it's called Agyasa. Up to this we saw. Okay. Now, suppose, let's say, if you are in the, I'll explain this further, how it is. Suppose if you are in the middle of the forest, say for an example, and you have hundreds and thousands of US dollars, and now you are hungry. You are hungry and you are thirsty. Can that money will get you food and water? No. In that situation, this money is nothing but it's just a printed paper. That's all. We cannot survive with money. For survival, we need food, shelter, dress, water. These are the fundamental needs. These things with money we can buy. Therefore, the pursuit of acquiring the privilege of enjoying the fundamental needs, either with money or without money, that is called Artha Purushartha. Without knowing that, what we do is, people generally they accumulate crores and crores of money in this time, not understanding that money can give just the buying power. Even when you have the buying power, but what you need in case not available, then money has no value. Suppose a person, another person, let's say another person, he doesn't have money, but enjoys all his needs. So, now tell me, in between these two persons, the example what I gave with the first person who was stranded in the middle of the forest, and the other person who doesn't have money but enjoy all his needs. In between these two, who has a real artha? Obviously, it is the second person. Therefore, the real security is not money. That which provides all the fundamental needs at the right time, at the right place, that is the artha, that is the security. And this security, we can see at different levels. In the beginning, I seek security for myself in the present moment. But it doesn't stop with that. I seek security for myself in the present moment, and I seek security for myself for the future also. When I am a child, I seek security in my parents. When I grow up, I want relationship and get married. Balastavata kridasattaha tarunastavata tarunaisattaha. So I want to get married when I reach the age of, when I become an adult. And I think I will be secure with my wife or my husband. So the couples seek security from each other. And nowadays what happens is this security has become more and more vulnerable. We don't know when this security will be threatened. If there is any small understanding, they separate. And this problem is more in the place where I live now in Guyana. One of the major problem is there is the problem with the couples. They come together thinking that other person is the source of security, but they are not. Therefore, the relationship, which was a source of security for me, now it becomes a matter of worry. So, there is a fear of security. I want to sustain the relationship, therefore there is a fear. Similarly, when we grow old, we depend on children and they become the source of security for us. We depend on life insurance or financial security. We depend on pensioner scheme for sustenance. Therefore, this artha, it manifests in different forms. Therefore, this artha, it manifests in different forms of security. So, all forms of security, what we seek is nothing but artha only. It all comes under artha. Therefore, I translate artha as security. This is a translation which Swamiji gives. It's a beautiful translation. So now, we take care of artha purushartha. Once artha is taken care of, then comes the kamaha, kama purushartha. Kama means, as I told the previous class, kama means, it means comfort or pleasure. Which when available, I can enjoy. How do you achieve your objects of pleasure? With money. With money we can buy all the fundamental needs and wants. So artha and kama. Therefore we all run after what? Money. But really speaking, it is not money we run after, it is for security and pleasure. A sense of security and pleasure. It gives as though a sense of security and pleasure. That is what. So, the pursuit of seeking fundamental needs as security is called artha. The pursuit of seeking fundamental needs as security is called artha. The pursuit of seeking wants as pleasures is called kamaha. So, in short, we can say artha is seeking security, kamaha is seeking pleasure. Though I gave many meanings for artha and kama in the previous class, and finally now we can narrow down the meaning to this. Artha is seeking security, kama is seeking pleasure. Okay. After artha kama, what do I seek now? I seek for dharma. Dharma is a big term. I gave different definitions for dharma. Dharma Purushartha also I gave that context, I gave that apt definition. That which provides for Artha Kama, not only in this life, but also in the next life, is called Dharma. So when we define Dharma like this, it means what? This Artha Kama Purushartha, Artha and Kama, it subserves our Dharma Purushartha. That is how it is. Right? But Swamiji, it defines Dharma beautifully. So I would consider the Swamiji's definitions to be more appropriate. What is that? He says this Dharma, this Artha Kama doesn't subserve Dharma. Dharma itself is an end to be achieved. That is how he puts Dharma. When you conform to Dharma, conforming to what is right and wrong, then you become a Dharmika Purushaha. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tatatmanam sajamyaham. So here Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever Dharma declines, I reincarnate myself to protect Dharma and to destroy Adharma. But how does Lord protect Dharma? Dharma can be protected only when Dharmi, the follower of Dharma, is protected. Where is Dharma? Dharma is with the Dharmi, the one who follows Dharma. So Dharmi has to be protected. The Adharmi has to be destroyed. Therefore, this Dharmi, this Dharmika Purusha, is one who conforms to what is right and what is wrong. This is Dharmika Purusha. When you are a Dharmika Purusha, what happens? You start loving what you do, not what you love to do. So, what you do will be right. you become a dharmika purusha. When you love what is to be done, then what happens? You grow into a complete person. Doing what you love to do is not a big thing that anybody can do. Doing what is to be done in a given situation at a particular place at a particular time, and you love doing it, then you grow into a complete person. Dharmika purusha. You can become a dharmi. You should do what is to be done, even when you don't like it. Therefore, growing into that person who likes what is to be done and doesn't bother for what is not to be done, even though it gives pleasure, then you become a complete person. You don't violate the order. You are in synchrony with the order of Ishvara, Bhagavan. You lead a harmonious life. You lead a life of values. In fact, you become a big tree under whom all can take shelter. This is the real growth. In this sense, Dharma itself is an end as a Purushartha. This is another beautiful definition of Dharma Purushartha. This definition, I think it will be more and more appropriate. Okay. This Dharma Purushartha, when we follow Dharma, it is supposed to give this growth. Therefore, that which is conducive for one's own inner maturity to grow, to become a big person, to grow big, is called Dharma. This is the definition for Dharma Purushartha. So, up to this, we have seen Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha. Trivida Purushartha we have seen. Now, after this three Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha, what is next? Next comes Moksha. Moksha. What is Moksha as a Purushartha? That we will analyze in detail now. This Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha. Why Purushartha? It is Bhagavachanam. Dharma, Artha, Kama, three Purusharthas are there. Therefore, Purushartha. I make it Bhagavachanam. So, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha. These three, the language of Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad is Upanishad. The language of Kathopanishad, these three Trivida Purushartha is called prayers. The Upanishad calls these three Purushartha as prayers, pursuit of pleasure. It is another one way of looking at the Purushartha. This is how that Kathopanishad looks at it. The last Purushartha is called Moksha. It is also called as Mukti. The language of Kathopanishad is called Shreyas. It is called Shreyas. This Shreyas, Prayas, it's all Sakaranta. Sakarantaha, Pullingaha. Shreyas or Prayas Shabdaha. It is Pullinga. So the Kathopanishad it calls Dharma, Artha, Kama as prayers and Moksha as Shreyas. Shreyasya prayasya manushya tau sampaditya vivinatti dhiraha. This is how the Upanishad talks about Shreyas and prayers. There are two types of pursuits are there. One is the pursuit of pleasure. Other is the pursuit of happiness. Shreyas is pursuit of happiness. Okay. So they say Shreyas or Moksha or Mukti all means same. What does it mean? Moksha mean? It means freedom. This freedom, what is freedom that we have to analyze? I'll give different shades of interpretation for the word freedom. Freedom, it is defined in a twofold way. Number one is freedom from the past. This is number one. And number two, freedom from the concept of time. Past, present and future, and also from the concept of place, condition, strength, knowledge, skill, sense of inadequacy, sense of insecurity, all these things. This is another type of freedom. So we will discuss these two types in detail now. First, let us take the freedom from the past. Every one of us has a past. Most of the time, this past is bitter. We have lots of past regrets, problems, pain, sufferings, helplessness, hurt, which etc., which affects in the present. All these past experiences, what we have gained, it is not going to just vanish in the thin air, if you don't resolve it. These are all these past experiences, it remains unresolved in a corner of the mind. So any unresolved hurt or pain of the past, it will continue to stay in our mind and it will affect the present. Therefore, we will not be able to enjoy the happy moments of the present. Why? Because we are living in the past hurt. So the happiness of the present moment will be tainted by the pain of the past. When you carry the past, you will not see the present as it is, and you will not be able to deal with it objectively. There is always a coloring of the present experience with the past experience. Therefore, we lose our objectivity in the present. Therefore, this freedom, it is from one's own psychological past. It's a type of freedom. Freedom is called relative freedom. In the language of Bhagavad Gita, it is freedom from the pressure of likes and dislikes. Raga and Dvesha. Raga means likes, attachments. Dvesha is dislike or aversion. Raga Dvesha. Why this Raga Dvesha is there? Because of our past experiences. And freedom from this pressure of Raga Dvesha is one type of freedom. That is how Bhagavad Gita puts it. Okay. The other type of freedom is that freedom from the notion of I am small, I am insignificant, I am inadequate, I am not complete in terms of knowledge, strength, no time, place, I am imperfect, I am a mortal being subject to disease, decay, and all the shat vikaras. So this is the another type of freedom. That is freedom from the sense of all these notions. And this freedom, it is not external. In fact, no freedom is external. Nobody can be externally free. Our body, and they're all within a certain order, that one cannot be externally free. So what I'm talking about is an inner freedom. Because we don't enjoy this inner freedom now, what happens? We resort to varieties of Arthakama persons, looking for happiness from the objects of the world, from the persons of the world, from the situations of the world. In fact, the objects in the world, or the persons or the failures, they can enslave us in three ways. I will explain it, how it is, what are the three ways. Number one, any object, when I say object, it means person also, it is situation also. So an object can enslave me by its absence. The absence of the object, it creates a want in me, and it makes me feel worthless without having it. It creates unhappiness in me, dukkam. I constantly think about the object, and in fact, I languish in not having it. This is a bandha, this is a bondage. The absence of an object, it binds me. Shunyata dvara abhavaha badnati. Abhavaha is absence. So by absence, these objects bind me. So this is one type of enslavement. Which objects does it for me? Do it for me, right? This is number one. And number two, an object can enslave me by its presence. I can give an example. Take for an example a vehicle. And that too, if it is a new vehicle, what happens? It is all the more it can enslave me. How? I don't want my car to have even a scratch because it's a new car, new model. So the new vehicle is highly taken care of by me. It requires high maintenance. When it requires high maintenance, then I will not be free. I will always be worrying about it. So by the presence, it causes dukkham in me. So this is another type of enslavement. Number 3, the third one is some objects, it creates dukkham either by its presence or by its absence. Money is the best example. If money is there is one form of dukkham. If money is not there is another form of dukkham. In Sanskrit we say, arjane dukkham, rakshane dukkham. Arjane means to earn money is dukkham. Dukkham means it's difficult to earn money. And it's all the more difficult to protect the money. So, arjane dukkham, rakshane dukkham. At the same time, money gives sukham. How? Because with money we can buy comfort. In fact, money is neither the cause of sukham and dukkham. How? Money is neither the cause of sukham or dukkham. It is superficially, it is a cause for dukkham and sukham. It is only our way of handling it. Superimposing this, saying that that money is a cause of dukkham or sukham, that itself is an agyasa. That itself is a superimposition. Therefore, we saw now these objects or the persons or the situation, it can enslave me in these 3 ways. One is by its absence, other one is by its presence, the third one is it can enslave me by its presence as well as absence. Why do I talk about the 3 types of bandha, bondage? Because in arthakama pursuit, this bondage is there. This bondage is inseparable from arthakama. In moksha purushartha, you are free from this bondage. I get freedom from this bondage. This is a real freedom. The presence or the absence of the objects or the persons or the situations, it can neither please me or displease me. I am free from the notion I am small, I am inadequate, I am insignificant. I am totally free from these notions. I discover the real I. This moksha, this ultimate freedom is centered on this I only. Why? Because I am the one who is bound. I am the one who strives to be free. Therefore, it is centered on me only. If I am really bound, I cannot be liberated. If I am really free, there is no need for liberation. This is very important to understand. This we are going to analyze in detail. If I am really bound, I cannot be liberated. Because it is real. If I am really free, I don't have to be liberated. There is no need for liberation. If this freedom, moksha, is intrinsic to me, then I am already liberated. Maybe I don't know it. I have to discover it. If this freedom has to be gained by me, suppose, let us say, it is not within me, I have to gain it, then there is a possibility that I may lose it again, like artha kama. We gain artha kama, we gain security, pressure, and we can lose it again. So, this security and pressure are outside of me. So, I gain it, and therefore I have the fear of losing it. Is moksha is also like that? No. Therefore, we can conclude that the freedom what I seek, it must be intrinsic to me. And this discovery of freedom, moksha, it gives me ananda. In fact, moksha, this freedom is ananda. And this ananda is everlasting. It is continuous, irrespective of time, space, and situation. I am ever ananda, happy. Therefore, this freedom is intrinsic to me. It cannot be outside of me. It has to be inside. It has to be me, not inside. It has to be me. This freedom is the nature, swarupam of me. Then what I have to do? I feel I am not free. You have to discover it. Only thing is, you have to discover it. I will explain this with an example. That would be very easy. Suppose, let us, you take water in a vessel. What is the nature of water? Water is generally cool and wet. This coolness and wetness, this is the nature of water. Now, you keep the vessel which has water above the fire. What is the nature of fire? Fire by nature is hot. Heat is the nature of fire. There is no cold fire. So, now the vessel which is kept above the fire, what happens? It gets slowly heated up. And this heat is transferred to the water in the vessel. Water gets hot, slowly it gets hot and finally it's boiled. Now you touch the water is hot. Okay. What about fire? Fire is always hot. And what about the water now? This heat in the water, is it the nature of water? No. Heat is not the nature of water. This heat is borrowed from the fire through the vessel. Why water is hot? Water is hot because it is in contact with the vessel. Why the vessel is hot? Because it is in contact with the fire. The heat transfer has happened from the vessel to the water. Therefore, water is hot. Vessel is hot. Why is the fire hot? Because there is no because. Fire is hot means it is hot. There is no answer. Fire is hot. It's the nature of fire. There is no cold fire. Fire is hot, ice is cold. It is its swarupam. Swarupam is nature. So heat is the intrinsic nature of fire. There is no why to it. We can say now fire is hot because it is intrinsic to fire. Vessel is hot. Vessel is hot, but here the heat of the vessel is not intrinsic to vessel, it is incidental. It is incidental, it is borrowed. You can say in Sanskrit, agantukaha. The Sanskrit simple word, you can remember this, agantukaha. Agantukaha. That is, this is incidental, not borrowed. So it is incidental, it is borrowed, not swabhavikam. It is not intrinsic. So the heat of the vessel is agantukam, not swabhavikam. So the heat in the vessel and the heat in the water is incidental, but the heat of the fire is swarupam, intrinsic. Therefore, now we have two things. What are they? One is intrinsic, other one is incidental. In Sanskrit we say agantukam and swabhavikam. Swabhavikam. That which is swabhavikam is natural, it is intrinsic. That which is agantukam is not intrinsic, it is incidental. So you can remember these two words, swabhavikam, agantukam. Swabhavikam of a thing, when I say swabhavikam, it cannot be changed. Swabhavikam of a thing cannot be changed. Agantukam of a thing, it can change. It will go away in time. So the heat of the water is borrowed from fire. Since it is incidental and dependent on fire, the heat in the water is a dependent thing. In Sanskrit we say dependent thing as paratas siddham. Paratas siddham, not swatas siddham. Paratas siddham is dependent. Swatas siddham is independent. The heat of the water is paratas siddham, not swatas siddham. Heat in the fire is intrinsic and therefore independent. Swatas siddham. Heat in the fire is swabhavikam, intrinsic, therefore swatas siddham, independent. Heat in the water is agantukam, incidental, therefore paratas siddham, it is dependent. Okay. Now, if we analyze further, we get one more point. Since heat in the fire is intrinsic, Even if you remove the vessel and the water, the fire continues to be hot because fire is hot all the time. Whether fire is alone or in some association, whether it is night or afternoon, whether it is Asia or Antarctica, fire will be hot. Fire is hot in spite of the condition, in spite of the place, it is always hot. Therefore, you can say now, that which is intrinsic, that is swabhavikam, is nityam. Nityam means permanent. That which is intrinsic, swabhavikam is nityam, permanent. That which is intrinsic, swabhavikam is swatah siddham, independent. We know water is hot because of fire. Therefore, as long as water is in contact with fire, water is hot. The moment the fire is removed, water becomes cold. Therefore, the hotness of the water is agantukam. Now we can come to the conclusion very clearly. That which is swabhavikam is swatah siddham. I repeat again, that which is swabhavikam is swatah siddham, independent. That which is swabhavikam is nityam, permanent. That which is agantukam is paratah siddham, dependent. That which is agantukam is anityam, impermanent. Okay. Now, coming back to the topic, moksha. I want freedom. Moksha. This freedom is my swarupam, not agantukam. This freedom, the freedom lies in getting free from the notion of limitation. Because the bondage is notional. It is not my swarupam. Therefore, this freedom is my swarupam or agantukam. It is not agantukam. The freedom is already there. The thing is, I have to discover it. If freedom is agantukam, what will happen? It will go away. If freedom can go away, then it cannot be a freedom. Therefore, if freedom can go away, I need not work to gain freedom. Because there is no use. Anyway, it goes away. Since freedom is the swarupam of me, therefore I need not work to gain freedom also. Why? Because it is a siddha vastu. It is an already achieved one. I don't have to work to gain freedom. If I work to achieve it, then it cannot be me. It cannot be my nature. I can work to gain other than me, like artha kama. But what can I do to gain myself? There is no doing involved. You don't have to do anything. There is only knowing. Only knowledge is involved. What is that knowledge? Knowledge is freedom is my nature. Mat swarupam. Moksha is mat swarupam. When it is my nature, then I don't have to work to gain it. I cannot improve myself. I am already free. I am already complete. I cannot become complete. I cannot improve myself. I don't need to, because I am already complete. I just need to know. Anything which can be improved is limited. That is what we say in the world. There are many things which can be improved. So that which can be improved is limited. I am complete already, therefore I cannot be improved. If I cannot be improved means I am already complete. Only thing is I need to discover it. This freedom and what I seek, this ananda, both are in fact synonymous. I can use the word freedom or ananda, it is synonymous. I am that limitless ananda. In fact, if you will see, all the Swamis will have this word ananda, Vivekananda, Dayananda. This ananda, all the sannyasis will have this ananda. It means what? You have discovered the fact that ananda is its swarupa. That freedom is a swarupa. That is why they are called ananda, Vivekananda, Dayananda. Vivekananda is what? Yes, we discover that he is of the nature of Ananda, is the nature of this moksha. Moksha is its nature. It is discovered by means of Viveka Buddhi. Therefore, he is called Vivekananda. So, when I discover it, I also become Ananda. In fact, our whole life game is to discover this Ananda, freedom, moksha. And this Ananda is Nitya. What sort of Ananda is? It is Nitya, Kevala, Shuddha Ananda. This Ananda is Nitya. This Ananda is Shuddha. Shuddha means there is not even a taint of bondage in this. Therefore, this pursuit of this discovery of Nitya Ananda. This Nitya Ananda is Moksha Purushartha. The discovery of this Nityananda. Nityananda only Nityananda it has become. Nityananda is Moksha Purushartha. Now, how to get this Nitya Ananda? Again, there is no getting. How to know this Nitya Ananda? If there is something called Nitya Ananda, it can never be got. Because what is Nityam? Nityam means permanent. What is Nityam should not depend on other factors. If it is Nitya Ananda, it should be in the form of my own nature. Atma Swarupam. So, for Nitya Ananda, no struggle is required from outside. I need to discover the real nature of myself, Atma, Atmananda. So, now we can say this Swarupa Ananda. My nature is of Ananda. Swarupa Ananda eva Nitya Ananda. Atma Ananda eva Nitya Ananda. This Nitya Ananda is there in me. Siddha Vastu. Swarupatvat. It is Siddha Vastu. It is already there in me. So, the knowledge by which I recognize that I am already free and complete. I am Brahma. I am the Paramatma, Atma, or Nitya Vastu. Anything you use, Brahma, Paramatma, Atma, Nitya Vastu. This knowledge gives you that Ananda, that moksha. So, I am Brahma, I am that Nitya Vastu. This Nitya Vastu cannot be destroyed. It is Purnam, it is complete. Without knowing that Agam Nitya Vastu, what happens is we all seek that Nitya Vastu in the outside objects. In fact, what we are seeking through various pursuits, without this knowledge, all our life is this moksha, this Nitya Ananda, this is the freedom. This is what we are seeking all our life. This is what Shastram is going to teach us. Which part of the Shastram? As I told in the previous class, this Shastram is divided into two portions. There are different ways you can look at the Shastram. One is the Karmakanda portion of the Shastram, other one is the Jnanakanda. So Karmakanda portion, it deals with the three Purushartha, Artha, Kama, Dharma, Purushartha. There are various pursuits, there are various things we want in life, and the Shastra prescribes various rituals, various mantras it gives. So this Karmakanda portion takes care of that. This Karmakanda portion is mainly for the Grihastha life. So the Jnanakanda portion, which is the final portion of the Veda, this Jnanakandam, it is nothing but the final portion of the Veda contains Upanishads, Vedanta. That Vedanta is a source of this knowledge, moksha. From where do we get this knowledge, moksha? Only from this Shastram, from the Upanishad, final portion of the Veda, Jnanakandam. For Jnanakandam, to pursue this Jnanakandam, to pursue this Upanishad, to pursue this Vedantic knowledge, one can be in any stage of life. One can be a brahmachari, one can be a grihastha, one can be a vanaprastha, one can be a sannyasi. But sannyasi is one who has got a clear determination. He has made the Purushartha Nishchaya. He is so conclusive about his Purushartha, what he wants, moksha. Therefore, he takes up the life of sannyasa, which is conducive for this Purushartha, and his goal is only to gain, not gain, to realize this freedom, to gain this Aham Brahma Asmi, that knowledge. Whereas this knowledge can be pursued even one is in a brahmachari stage of life, brahmacharya, gastha, or vanaprastha, also one can do. But in these three stages of life, what happens? This moksha pursuit doesn't get the serious priority. Generally, we don't give the top priority to the moksha. It is there in the priority list, but it won't occupy the top. Unless it comes to the top moksha, then the pursuit will be little manda. It will be manda. Because as I told before, this moksha purushartha is a very jealous pursuit. It doesn't allow any other pursuit to subdue. This artha and kama. Therefore, this artha, kama, dharma, everything should subserve moksha. When moksha occupies a top priority, automatically other things will be subserved this moksha purushartha. The life will become a conducive one to pursue shastra patanam. Therefore, this knowledge, this moksha purushartha, is gained only from the shastram, from the last portion of the Veda, which is the Upanishad. Okay? And what is the shastram? Why do we get this knowledge only in the shastram? Why don't we get this knowledge from other than the shastram? Can we get this knowledge other from the shastram? All these things we will explore in the next class. The next class, I will deal with what is shastram and what is a pramanam. Why shastram is a pramanam? Pramanam is something very, very important to know. Is accepting shastram as a pramanam, it requires a lot of shraddha. Therefore, what is pramanam and why shastram is also a pramanam? Why shastram is only the means to gain this knowledge? So everything we will discuss in detail in the next class. So next class we will spend time only on this, and after the class after the next, we will get into the Tattvabodha text proper. So with this, I conclude today's topic. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. You can ask me if you have any doubts. If you have time, I can make a small synopsis of what I taught. It's a matter of time. I did sit and do. If you have time, I will do it and send you.
Sure. Yes.
You would like to have the...
Yeah, I will try to do it synopsis of what I said in the so 4 classes. I started from the Manushya Janma. So slowly getting into now the Purushartha. Then Purushartha, then Moksha comes, then we get into Shastram. Then Pramanam, then why should we read Tattvabodha? What is Tattvabodha? Why don't we get into Upanishad directly? In fact, before getting into Upanishad, we must have a familiarity with the topics discussed in the Upanishad. Therefore, we read Prakarana Grantha. This Tattvabodha is a Prakarana Grantha. Viveka Chudamani is a Prakarana Grantha. Prabodha Sudhagara is a Prakarana Grantha. This Sadhana Panchakam is a Prakarana Grantha. Kaupina Panchakam is a Prakarana Grantha. Vajagovindam, Mokabuddha, Prakarana Grantha. There are many Prakarana Granthas are there. These are all very simple. There are simple Prakarana. There are gradations in Prakarana Grantha. These are all Prakarana Grantha. There are Siddhi Granthas also is there. Those are also Prakarana Grantha, but it is advanced. There are a lot of discussions and debate will be there. Purva Paksha and a lot of other things. They will take a topic and discuss splitting argument. So there are advanced Prakarana Grantha. So Naishkarmya Siddhi, that is also here. Of course, it is not written by Acharya, it is by Sureshwar Acharya. So it's a Grantha, Prakarana Grantha. So there are Prakarana Granthas are there. But Tattvabodha is a very simple Prakarana Grantha. In fact, before getting into any Upanishad, we must read this Prakarana Grantha. Prakarana Grantha has got one advantage. What is that? It discusses all the topics in a systematic way. That you will not find in the Upanishads. The Upanishads, it talks only about the vision. It gives a vision. Therefore, the Upanishad you cannot read on your own. Because it gives you the vision has to be unfolded by the Guru. Every word, every shabda of the Upanishad has to be interpreted properly. Therefore, you need the Guru. Therefore, since it is Sanskrit, of course, you need a bit of Sanskrit knowledge. In Prakarana Grantha, what Acharya has done is the essence. They know the Upanishad, they know the Prakriya which Upanishads have mentioned and they handled. In Upanishads you find different types of Prakriya. Like this Panchakosha Viveka is Panchakosha Prakriya is and Jagrat Swapna Sushupti. Avastha Trayam is there. So like that, there are very simple Prakriyas. Different Prakriyas are there. Srishti Prakriya is there. So all the Prakriyas are handled systematically by a Prakarana Grantha. Therefore, we must read Prakarana Grantha and get into Upanishad. That is the general or traditional procedure to do it. So, the next class we'll see what Vedanta is, what Pramanam is. After that, we'll get into the actual text of Tattvabodha. As I said in the previous class, Tattvabodha is a very simple text. If you have time and you're so serious about it, you can memorize. It is not a slok, it is not in shloka form, it is in prose form. It is prose, not poetical, like Gita. It is not in the verse form, it is in prose. You will find all the definitions of Vedanta in Tattvabodha. It is a very simple text. You can try to memorize it. Boom. Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yes, we'll stop here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means we don't have any questions. Thoroughly understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, ma'am. Sangamitra Ji, thanks for telling me that you have class tomorrow. Otherwise, I thought I would take it tomorrow. Thank you.